Hi guys, welcome back, and we are on week 6. Woo! So, baby's head is forming in that embryo and fetus, baby. So fetus is here. The head is growing. Your cheeks, your jaw, your beautiful chin on your baby's growing. Because like I said, the head is one of the first things in the circulatory system. On top of it, your heart has formed and can be heard by certain ultrasound equipment. Most, heartbeat monitors, they're not going to catch it because it's too small. But typically, any ultrasound in a hospital, unless they're an older hospital, should be able to catch it. And this is going to be the week if you have IVS or fertility issues, you're more than likely going to have your first ultrasound because they want to make sure that heartbeat is there. Now, also, because of these things happening, it's a fetus, the heart is formed, your HCG is at the levels it's at. That is why OBs don't want to see you until after week 6, because you have a fetus. It's a liable pregnancy, and the likelihood of miscarriage is starting to deplete after week 6. Is it non-existent? No, but it's starting to deplete because many of things have been happening in your body that pretty much after this point, it's not necessarily hormone related for the most part. Some people, their hormones still don't keep rising the way they should, but again, those are situational. For the most part, once you reach week 6, you've made the baby. At this point, you've done a lot of the hard work, and that's why, in general, they don't want to see you until after week 6. So, one fun thing is your baby forms itself in fetal position, which is why it's called fetal position. Head to the end of the tail. The end of the tail is typically right above this huge head on this little alien baby. And this is going to be, the tail is going to turn into the feet. And that is why babies' feet stay right up tight. Because that's how it forms. It just doesn't know any better. And it forms that way so it can fit in you. You have a whole human in your uterus. It needs to fit in you somehow. If they stood standing up, woo! That'd be a good time. So, this week for yourself, that's what's happening with the baby. But this week for yourself, your heartburn, it's coming out. Coming on. Serious nausea, frequent urination, your swelling. Hormones have a little bit to do with the urination too, but the HCG does. But a lot of it is your uterus is now completely swelling because something is growing in it, and it's starting that stretching process, which is now starting to push down on your bladder, and that is one of the first organs pushed on outside of your intestines and stomach, which is why the heartburn is happening. All of these things are swelling. Even though baby is tiny, it's all swelling. It's all prepping for baby to grow. And now that it's a fetus, it's all really starting to work itself, knowing that all of this is coming ahead. And your body has really, your brain and body have really registered, we need to start doing all of these things for baby. And like I said, your body is so aware of it that your kidneys are actually getting rid of extra waste because your body really only wants what it needs for you and baby. And it's really paying attention to what it's accepting in the bloodstream, knowing that that's going to reach baby eventually, which can be a huge cause of urination as well, because a lot of extra waste. If it's not nutritional, they're going to waste it right out of your urine and your feces, and that can also tend to be why you have a little more poos in the beginning, and constipation usually isn't that much of an issue until later on in the pregnancy because your colon and such is not getting constricted. But if you're not staying hydrated, you can be seriously constipated. So make sure you stay on top of your hydration all pregnancy, but definitely in the beginning as well. Because you're nauseous and heartburn and all these things are not a good excuse to not be drinking. I learned that the hard way, and I promise you, when you drink more, you feel a lot better. But a downfall to that is UTIs can happen very easily because of all of this. So make sure you're wiping properly, you're staying clean, etc. Especially after sex, if you're in the mood for sex. But I was not, and I am also a very sexual person. Your doctor visit is going to be soon. If you have not found one, this is definitely the week to be getting one. Like I had said, they don't like to be seen until after week 6 for the reasoning of the heartbeat, and now that you have official fetus versus a blastocyst or an embryo. So if you have yet to call your OB, I highly suggest doing your research to find who you'd like to be your OB, and if you know your OB, setting up an appointment. Another thing that can happen because of the surge of emotions, especially if you've had fertility problems and now you are having a viable pregnancy, let alone you weren't planning for this, or maybe you did plan for it and you're just having emotions, it's very normal, number one, because of your hormonal, rates right now, let alone what's going on in your mind, let alone what's going on with your body. It's not even just your body reacting. You're reacting. You're trying to figure this out, and it can be really, really, really hard to cope sometimes. And I know we talk about postpartum depression a lot. I'll talk about mental health at the end of this, about pregnancy as a whole, but it's very common to have pregnancy depression and anxiety, especially your first pregnancy, or if you had an issue with a past pregnancy, or fertility issues, all of these reasons, whatever it may be. And something that can be really helpful is finding support groups on Facebook. Facebook groups are amazing, especially when you find the right ones. I always suggest joining a couple groups, finding which one clashes best with you. If the ones that you found aren't working, try to find some different ones. Sometimes these people can meet you in person, let alone just having someone you can send a message to that has felt the same way that you are or currently feeling the same way that you are is extremely helpful. Not feeling alone is going to help you through this. And I promise you there are millions of people out there that feel the same way, even if they don't live near you. As long as you have someone in your life that's going through the same thing, it helps. Yes, venting to your people, your partner, your, support group, whoever they look like, is nice, but having people that you can count on that are going through the same thing as you or have gone through the same thing as you is even more helpful than you can really believe, to be honest with you. And another thing, journal those feelings out. And it's helpful to talk to a therapist or someone professional or your support group or this group and say, these are my feelings, has anyone else felt this way? It's a great opener. So don't feel alone. Don't think you're crazy. Don't think it may stop within a week. Just take it day by day. And if it becomes an issue, tell your OB or your physician so that you can get on some medication or get some help. Because it's important to stay on top of that. You don't want to go into childbirth and labor feeling very emotionally unequipped for it. Because that is going to be the hardest. That and postpartum is one of the hardest things for you to go through. So you really want to make sure that you're on top of it. So the best thing you can do for yourself is staying on top of yourself during pregnancy so you're prepared for that. And professionals that understand, they're going to have your back and they're going to help you get through all of this and cope. If you guys have any questions, let me know. And next week will be week 7.